So, a little over a month ago, I put out a video called Boogie 2988. Closet abuser? As one comment pointed out, there's actually no evidence that Boogie has abused closets, other than the likelihood that if he ever tried to hide in one, he would probably break it apart. No, instead, what I was talking about is the evidence that Boogie has abused people that just doesn't really get talked about very much. Most of that evidence is centered around a young woman named Lucy Fox. Lucy Fox is a sugar baby, cam girl, porn star that Boogie got with shortly after his divorce in early 2018. Now, according to Lucy Fox, Boogie was very emotionally abusive to her. He was verbally abusive to her. He kind of treated her like shit. He was not really willing to help her out financially, and the fact that they met on a sugar baby website where that was kind of the whole idea kind of shows that he was being a stingy jackass. So she ended up bailing, but a couple weeks after she bailed, she made a video about an ex of hers, she never named Boogie, and how he had been just a total asshole to her, and how he had this nice guy persona, but in reality, he's a grade A prick. Since then, people have connected the dots, and Boogie has come out and admitted that was him, and he's addressed these allegations in an interview with Keemstar, which formed the bulk of my previous video. And I kind of went through that in a very, let's say, emotional state, tore into it, and why I thought that whole interview is a fucking sham. That's a fluff piece to make Boogie look better. And he doesn't answer anything, and it's full of misinformation, and whatever the fuck, go watch the other video. I'm not going to give you the whole answer to it. That video ended up doing very, very well for me. It has 45,000 views right now. It might be at 50,000 by the time I actually finish and upload this. That just doesn't happen to me. My videos don't do that big. With that increased attention came a lot of comments, and with the comments, a lot of criticism. Now, I wanted to take a moment to address the various criticisms for the video. I love criticism. I love giving criticism, and I love getting criticism. And I want to let people know how much I enjoy it. I'd like to take a minute to sort of address those various criticisms. Pretty sure I just said the same thing 2 times in a row, but I'm not going to edit it, because fuck that. So first things first. This video is needlessly long. Kind of, yeah. The video's 50 minutes. I thought it was 30 minutes, and then I checked it the other day, and I was amazed how fucking long it was. I think my initial, script was 30 minutes, and then the Keemstar thing ended up being 20 minutes, and I never anticipated that, which is where all the extra length came from. It is long. I'm a little rambly at points, but I try to keep a very natural tone of voice. I try to talk like I actually talk to my friends, to sort of give a very intimate feel to my videos, I guess. So while the video is definitely longer than it needs to be, I don't necessarily regret the video being that long. I also just think people are more likely to watch longer videos. I think if you see a Boogie video that's 13 minutes, you're going to think that he couldn't have actually done anything that bad if you can only talk about it for 13 minutes. But an hour, people will fucking sit and watch hour-long drama videos because they think there's a lot of shit happening. And there kind of was with Boogie. I definitely drew it out. But there was enough content there for a half hour, easy. Probably more. Even if you were better at editing than I was. So, I admit, kind of, yeah, I probably could have cut it down to 35, maybe 40 minutes. But I really just wanted to let the interview part of the video go. And really just flow. Because it was all just me being upset. And I wanted that emotion to come through in the video. I also have a couple corrections for the video. First off, Grave Ghoul, I said, came after Lucy Fox. Or, fuck. I said Grave Ghoul was before Lucy Fox. That's not true. She was after Lucy Fox. The reason I got that confused is because in my head, I thought, oh, Lucy Fox broke up with Boogie and immediately made that video. It actually looks like she waited a couple weeks and then made the video. So I think she made the video because she saw him hanging out with Grave Ghoul, and she was like, holy shit, there's other fucking women who are getting duped into this. I should say something. So that was my logic there. So I thought, oh, he must have known her beforehand, but no, it's not true. There is evidence of other girls, but none of them really have, like, a lot of fucking, a big paper trail to them. It's just sort of Boogie talking about going out on dates and shit. So that's my bad. It doesn't really break the video at all, but a couple people pointed it out. They're totally right. Worth noting, recently Grave Ghoul has deleted any videos or pictures of her and Boogie because he has been freaking the fuck out for like the last couple weeks about all this Lucy Fox stuff. I don't know what prompted him to get on a tizzy about it all over again, but there you go. 2. Some people pointed out that sugar babies are not prostitutes and that they are usually there for emotional support. I don't believe that. Maybe that's true once in a blue moon. I think that's just people who either are sugar babies or know sugar babies and they're trying to feel better about the profession. Yeah, I get it. You know, part of the appeal of a sugar baby is that they don't have to fuck you. So if they do fuck you, that means they actually like you. I kind of get that. I understand there's no obligation to fuck. That's fine. I still think if you're a sugar baby, you're not as... I find you less... You have less character than a prostitute. Because a prostitute has a job and does it. Whereas a sugar baby, you know, just sort of fucking plays around for a long time. I stand by that. I understand that there are people who feel differently about it. I understand that a couple people are like, no, sugar babies are actually like, they're like 24/7 therapists and whatnot. I don't believe that for a second. But if you do, you know, whatever. I don't think it, again, I don't really think that matters a whole lot in the grand scheme of things. 3. Some people said that I didn't have the right to say that it was too soon for Boogie to go from his divorce to hanging out with women. That there's no, like, set amount of time for you to get over a relationship. And I agree with that, actually. I definitely believe that there's 1,000 reasons for someone to get out of a relationship and immediately go into other relationships. My point was more that Boogie played himself up to be, like, emotionally devastated and a victim, but then he was also hanging out with cam whores all the time, and it felt disingenuous, but I can actually see a scenario where you would do those things and still be really torn up about the divorce. I know that studies and shit show that dudes who get on rebounds tend to actually get over their old relationships faster. They don't get new ones as quickly, but they're more emotionally stable after what happened to them. So, I don't know. Maybe Boogie's therapist recommended he do this. Some other fucking thing. Again, I just sort of dropped it there as a side thing in the video. I don't think it's super integral to it, but I did want to address it. Yeah, you're kind of right on that front. 4. Boogie wasn't abusive to Dez. That's a lie. Now, some people have pointed out that Dez has publicly come out and said that Boogie never abused her. She, in that comment, says physical abuse, and everyone is very clear to say, we're not talking about physical abuse, we're talking about emotional and verbal abuse. I don't know what she said about that, but a common criticism of Dez coming out and saying whatever is that she has signed something called a non-disparagement clause. A non-disparagement clause is fairly common in divorces where one of the people involved is a notable figure. Basically means the other person just can't come out and just talk shit left and right. I think the idea is you can't, like, come out and try to profit off of talking shit because you have an incentive to make stuff up. It's fairly common. A lot of people refer to it as an NDA. I don't think it's quite that. And if he was abusive towards her, and when she went to the police with this information, that wouldn't stop anything. It's not like he can stop her from going to the cops or something like that. But that's a huge headache to get involved with in legal stuff for her to come out and say that he was abusive in any capacity. But it doesn't matter what Dez says. I put Boogie's abuse in my video. On Boogie's live stream, he airs out their dirty laundry, even though he knows she doesn't want him to, and then he keeps doing it. That's abuse. That's emotional abuse. It's right there for you to see. You can see it in my video. You can see it in the mirror of his stream. You could see it in his actual stream. That's just straight up emotional abuse. It does not have to be intentional to be abuse. 5. Boogie's surgery wasn't the easy way out. Yes, it was. So if you're not familiar, Boogie had what I believe is called a stomach sleeve, gastric bypass, whatever. Basically, they wrap your stomach in this material that shrinks your stomach down so you physically can't eat very much. And that keeps you from actually overeating, and then you lose weight because you're not consuming as many calories. Cool. Makes sense. A lot of people have to get weight loss surgery as part of losing weight just because it takes too long to lose the weight naturally, and your clock is ticking down. You have to lose that weight immediately. And if you can lose 100 pounds through a surgery, that's going to give you a huge jump start on actually continuing to exercise to lose the rest of the weight. It makes sense. When you're above a certain weight threshold, you can't do exercises. You're just sort of fucked. And getting down to the point where you can, sometimes just doesn't happen by chance. So the surgeries make sense. The thing is, Boogie had a doctor. Doctor told him, Boogie, you gotta get under this certain amount of weight and then we'll operate on you. For a couple of different reasons. 1. We need to make sure that you're actually real about losing this weight, that you're not just going to gain it all back immediately. And 2, it's dangerous to operate on someone of your size. Too dangerous for me as a surgeon to be willing to put my identity and my job on the line for it. So you have to lose the weight. Boogie tried. He wasn't good enough. What he ended up doing was finding another surgeon that would operate on him, even though he was the size of a small planet, and then went through with it. There was an increased risk, but he probably had to sign a bunch of liability waivers in order to get it done. Now, some people have pointed out that the surgery ended up destroying his life. But that's all passive. You know, the recovering from surgery, the divorce, everything else in his life, he could just lay in the fucking bed and let it happen to him. He doesn't have to be proactive in doing it. Not like he would if he was losing the weight normally. That's the easy way out. The easier way out, let's say. It's easy compared to actually having to lose all the weight and putting in all that fucking effort, which he wasn't willing to do. And he'd been trying to do it for years and he just couldn't do it. He didn't have the willpower. It's no one's fault but Boogie. And I understand that the surgery is rough. I understand there were bad consequences to it. That doesn't change the fact that it's easier than having to actually lose the weight that his original doctor told him to lose. So then there's just a couple of other fucking miscellaneous points. I'm not going to fucking pretend like I'm going to put this into like sections and put little title cards and shit everywhere. I don't know why I thought I was. I just have other common criticisms I noticed that I'm going to go through. Why do you care? A lot of people brought up why I care about Boogie, and how it's none of my business. It's none of anyone's business but theirs. I'll address these as separate criticisms. So first off, why do I care personally? Well, honestly, I just care because I like drama. And I think it's fun to talk about, and I think it's fun to dissect. I just enjoy it. I watch reality TV all the fucking time. I get in fights with people on the internet because I like to get in fights because I think it's fun. That's it. That's why I care. I care because I think it's fun to fucking get in fights over shit. That's it. But on it's not being anybody's business, well, that's wrong. Because when Lucy Fox decided to bring it out in public, she had an intention. And her intention was to warn others of it. And that's kind of what I'm doing here, too. Even if I'm just doing it because I have some fucked up hedonistic urge to do it. It doesn't change the fact that ultimately maybe a fucking another fucking cam whore or whatever will see this, and then Boogie will contact her and she'll be like, no way, fag, and fucking put a stop to it before it goes anywhere, which would be ultimately a positive. So there is actually the more people who know Boogie is an abuser, the more likely he is to stop making money giving out his god-awful life advice, and the less likely it is that someone else is going to be put through the ringer like Lucy Fox was. This one's weird. I had someone tell me I don't believe in mental health and that I was alt-right, which I couldn't believe that one. I spent fucking an hour defending a cam whore and someone said I was alt-right for it. It's very weird. I do believe in mental health. I don't know if I'd say I'm a mental health advocate, but I believe that mental health in America is very misunderstood, and I don't think we treat it with the cadence we should. And I think a lot of people are ashamed of it, and I don't think it's something to be ashamed of. I've been very open about my various mental health issues, the diagnoses that I have, the ones I thought I might have. I'm very open about this with basically everyone I talk to. And when I found out, I thought I was bipolar up until last September, and then I talked to my doctor, and he was like, "No, you're not bipolar at all." He was like completely certain about it, and I felt like a jackass because I was telling people I thought I was. I got diagnosed with autism when I was 15. I had a therapist who thought I might have ADHD. When I got diagnosed with autism, they said that my fine motor functions are weird. They're not properly developed, and that I would have to undergo therapy to fix those. I believe in mental health. I believe in therapy. I believe in the mental health system. I think it's flawed, but I think it does work when you put time into it. My point was, it doesn't matter that Boogie has mental health problems. He can take care of himself, and he needs to act like an adult. If you have mental health issues, that doesn't excuse you hurting other people in any capacity. The only way you can use that as an excuse is if you're physically incapable of taking care of yourself. At which point, yeah, you're not accountable for your actions, but that's not what's happening to Boogie. Boogie has his own job. He has his own income. He needs people to take care of him for medical reasons, but that's because he's fat. It's not because his head's fucked. And it's not like Boogie doesn't actually understand right from wrong. He does. He just chooses to be a manipulator. A lot of people said the evidence was anecdotal. They don't know what anecdotal means, or rather they don't know when it's appropriate to use. So if I make a general statement, and then someone else says, personally, this happened to me, so that refutes this general statement, that's anecdotal evidence. And it's generally frowned upon because it doesn't really mean anything. There are always exceptions to the rule. It's not anecdotal here because there were two people involved in the abuse, Lucy Fox and Boogie. And one of them said it happened, and then the other one tried to sweep it under the rug. It's not anecdotal evidence. That's just normal-ass evidence. That's just testimony. Some other people said there was no evidence. Testimony is evidence. Eyewitness testimony is evidence. That's an allegation. An allegation is evidence. A lot of people said I was just in it for the money. I don't have any of my videos monetized. If you watch a video of mine and it has ads on it, that's because another company claimed it and they ran ads on it. I don't qualify for monetization because as of making this, I don't have the 1,000 subscribers I need. That being said, the fucking moment I cross 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to monetize the fuck out of everything. Mark my words. Alright? Like fucking 12 mid-rolls. Alright? You better fucking believe it. I'm going to milk it for everything I can. Alright? I'm not one of these people who's going to be like, and I'm actually going to donate all the money for this video to charity. No, I'm the charity. Alright? Pay up, pay piggies. Next point. ad hominem. A lot of people... It was fairly common that I saw people say that I was giving ad hominem remarks. These people don't know what ad hominem means. An ad hominem... Fuck. An ad hominem is a... An ad hominem is when... Ad hominem. I'm positive I'm saying that wrong. An ad hominem is when you attack someone's character instead of their argument. I was attacking Boogie's character, but he didn't... It's not like he had a counter argument that I was also fighting against and not appointing. My whole point is that, yeah, Boogie's fucked. He's a bad dude. The fucking rain is so goddamn loud right now. So yeah, it is an ad hominem, but that's my whole fucking point, is that Boogie's a bad person. Of course all my arguments are ad hominem, because that's the position I'm arguing. As a secondary, if you make a response to a criticism that addresses the criticism, and you insult the person at the same time, not an ad hominem. Not how it works. So that's kind of it. I mean, those are the more common criticisms I saw for my Boogie video. And I want to take a quick little moment to talk about them. I think this audio might be unusable because of the fucking rain that's happening right behind me. I don't have a window. I have a wall. I have a hole in my wall where a window is supposed to be. It's not there anymore. So, I can't really do anything about the rain. But, I guess I'm just going to spend the rest of this video reading some of the choice fucking comments I saw on the video. Because some of them are really funny. Both ironically and unironically. And I wanted to take a moment to spotlight them. So you can stop watching the video now, I guess. I don't even have to watch this video to know you're stupid. The comments speak for itself. Have a nice day. The only reason he was acting like this was because of his past, but you would obviously not know a clue about it. Delete this video now. Obey! This video has only proven one thing, and that it is any moron on the internet can talk into a mic and make a completely false and slanderous opinion piece, and YouTube, for some reason, will put it in the recommended feed like it is legit. As far as you can tell, nobody has anything to say. These stories are made up. WTF, it's backwards. No one has any proof they are true either. It's not guilty till proven innocent. It's innocent till proven guilty, and there is no proof. Too long and boring. You're basing an awful lot on the word of a cam girl. This might be triggering for some folks to hear, but cam whores tend not to be the most stable bunch. This video was a 50-minute emotional rant, and Lucy Fox didn't seem honest either. Was hoping for some facts with how you spoke of it, but nope, just a 50-minute opinion piece, with a clear narrative with how it was voiced and set up. How is any of this any of y'all business? Mind yourself, work on you. You clearly want to exploit one's hardship and faults for money. I bet you got skeletons 1,000 times worse than this guy. You are a bully, the lot of you. Criticism is one thing, however most of this is circumstantial at best. Oh, and you take the word of a cam girl like she wouldn't benefit from lying to get clout? Boogie's not perfect, but he's no abuser. This really just shows how desperate you seem to vilify one of your own to get ahead. Does he mean that because we're YouTubers or just because we're fat dudes with beards? Dear oh dear, you're prepared to make a boring video full of anecdotes with no evidence over verbal abuse and label him a closet abuser. But he's the childish one, which he is, but you are too, even more so. Because you're reporting this using only anecdotes. You might as well make a fire guard made of chocolate. You've contributed nothing. Shame on you. Sexist much? I really don't care. I watch his content if I like the content. Whether or not he abuses his partners, that is irrelevant to his content. Obviously, you've never grown up in a highly abusive household. You have no idea the trauma that stays with you for the rest of your life. Every day we have to remember and relive the abuses that are trapped in our mind. Dude, why does this Boogie guy piss you off? Why do you care? Did you used to look up to him and he ruined that for you, or do you have the thoughts for Lucy? Oh, or do you have the hots for Lucy? Just trying to understand. This video seems pointless and like a waste of time. If you want to go after YouTubers, there are many out there that deserve it more than Boogie does. There are tons of pedophiles taking advantage of young girls on this platform that deserve a video like this to be made on them. I'd love to see you tear into them like you did to Boogie in this video. Anyways, in the end, this was What? This shit is as valid as Onision's Shane Dawson documentary. I don't like Boogie too much either, but this shit was a waste of 7 minutes of my life. Some of it is morally questionable, like moving on too quickly after her divorce or being a sugar daddy. I don't think it's immoral. Framing sugar babies as prostitutes is immature and lazy. Plus, it shouldn't affect how we view Boogie either. He earns his money, and he can spend it how he wants. He didn't spend it. That was the problem. If he's abusing people while doing so, then absolutely you have a point. But painting him in a bad light for being a sucrose guardian? A what? Verbal abuse is covered under free speech laws as long as it's not threatening, which none of your anecdote, were it not useless, imply. Nothing wrong with verbal abuse. I hope he sues you for malicious slander of character, moron. You literally just made a video with no evidence of this abuse. If she had posted screenshots maybe, but dude, you better hope this never blows up because Boogie could sue your ass for slander. Fat and ugly, says the guy who never shows his face in his videos. This vid has been done already. I don't condone what Boogie has done, but it's also clear you aren't familiar with the full understanding of how abuse can affect a person for the rest of their lives, and sometime have them repeat the same abuse that was done to them to someone else, and not actually be able to see that's what they are doing. I don't even have to... Oh, I did them all. That's... Okay, whatever. Fuck. I hate this.